What is going on, card nerds? So today I'm bringing to you guys my Bandai Fest top 16 prediction, as you can see it here in all its glory. But before we get into that, we do have a lot of Bandai news that dropped recently or in the past day. So we're gonna get into that first, including the ban list and ban list, quote unquote, right? But we got a lot of news, so we're gonna get into that first, and then I'll talk about my prediction for the top 16 for Bandai Fest. Okay. So first of all, we have this new regional that was announced in Florida, Orlando, Florida, December 6th. So it looks like we're gonna be about a month and a half in between regionals before our last regional that's been announced. I don't think they'll announce anything in between because they haven't done that, but a month and a half wait isn't too long, so that's nice. Even though the other one was like 2 weeks in between. Yeah, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. So, but either way, more regionals is fantastic, so we cannot complain. And then another thing they announced that I hadn't seen, I think they just announced it, is these. So you have to purchase. It's a new event at the Bandai Fest, which is a starter deck special battle. So it looks like you either buy the Bleach starter deck or the Hunter x Hunter starter deck at $11.99, and then that lets you play in the tournament, and you're able to win these prize cards here with the little logo of Bandai Fest, which is really cool. Anything that's new, we take, so that's nice. And they're gonna make more announcements on September 14th, which is cool. There's gonna be a live stream event, which is nice, and we're also getting the regional itself, the offline regional, that's gonna be live streamed in Dallas, which is nice. A lot of the Bandai tournaments, including Digimon and whatever else, Dragon Ball, are also being live streamed. So this one, Union Arena's live stream as well. Even Gundam, which is pretty new and very popular right here. So that's cool. The fact that they're streaming is fantastic. Brings more people in. A couple other cards that you're able to purchase. Pretty cool. So that's cool. And now for our quote unquote ban list, right? We got this Yahiko Myojin. I probably butchered that. But yeah, as you guys know, I don't know the name of the IP. I think it's Kenshin something. I'm not really familiar with it, but I know we were trying to figure out what R is going to get banned or not come over here, I guess. And it seems like it's going to be this 2-drop, which this card is very nice, very aggro. And that deck, obviously, it's the other colors have a similar card, but they're not as aggro and as good as this deck. As at least that's what I hear. So this card is going to be very interesting that it's not here. And I think the deck's still playable, still good. It has all the names and stuff. But this card is really good. Just an active trigger, pretty much a 0, is a really good card. So yeah, I'm okay with it not coming over here because I don't want something to be like tier 0. So far everything's pretty close in power, so I like that they're hitting this. I know a lot of people that are looking forward to this deck are not happy with it, but I like that they take the slow approach and the cautious approach personally, because I don't want to go into another game that's super broken. Stuff is crazy. So yeah, so what you guys probably came for is the top 16 prediction. So this is what I think personally is going to be represented in Bandai Fest. We're obviously going to revisit this after the regional to see how wrong I was or how right I was. Probably you guys can tell me in the comments how wrong I am about these predictions. I still do think Squad Zero is one of the most consistent decks, one of the best decks. Maybe it's not the complete best, but it's a lot easier to pilot than most decks. It's consistent, it's powerful, it has removal, so it has a lot of things that you need. So I think certain versions of Squad Zero Ichigo are gonna be 4 of them. Personally, that's what I think. So a good amount, 25% of the pie is I think going to go to Squad Zero. After that, I think Roy Mustang is also going to be well represented because of how well it did at the last regional. So I think numbers are going to speak there as well. With Union Arena, you can take any deck and do good with it, but I think representation is the biggest thing. And I think Squad Zero, Roy Mustang are going to be the biggest representation, as well as Lancelot because it's new. It's always been good, and they got a little bit of support recently, so I think that's going to be another highly represented deck. So I think that's a big reason why these 3 are going to be up there. Now, Toto is, I think, one of those picks that people are kind of like counter picking other stuff because it's good against Lancelot. It can move your stuff in Bleach. So I think some people might feel like they want to play anti meta kind of thing, and that's what Toto offers. And it's also a very just strong deck with the Mekamarus and stuff. So I think that's another deck that will have a couple tops. Blue JJK, Saikuna. I think Saikuna, did I spell that right? I don't know. But yeah, I think that's still a great deck. I think it'll get one top at least. Blue Bleach, I think, is one of those decks that, if piloted correctly, it could be a top tier deck for sure. I've seen that deck do a lot when piloted correctly, but I've seen people also stumble over themselves in that deck. So I feel like you have to be a lot of practice with that deck and be good with it. But I think we'll have maybe one player sneak in there with that deck. Blue SAO, I think, having something so fast and hitting with 4Ks is very strong. So I think this might be another pick that does good against certain decks because it's so fast. Purple Gawain has always been good. It's fell off a little bit, but I think it'll still find a way to get on top. It had not much support in the recent set, but it still has enough firepower. I think the Gawain deck is still, the Gurren Gawain deck is still gonna be the better version than just straight up Gawains. So I think that's gonna sneak it up there as well. And then my sleeper pick is gonna be the red AOT. It's just, I think it's one of those things where like it's new, so I think it'll have more representation than in other tournaments. I don't necessarily think it's a great deck. I don't think it's a bad deck, but I don't think it's near the power of some of the other ones. But I do think because it's new, it's a nice new shiny thing, that you're gonna have a few, quite a bit of representation as far as AOT goes, and you might have one, sneak in there. Other decks I was considering putting up there instead of red AOT. I think I just put that because I think, like I said, it's gonna have more representation because it's new. But I'm thinking One Punch Man yellow with either not the sisters, maybe probably not the sisters, but either the sisters or the Saitama. The Saitama is just a good meta call, or the green Saitama can sneak in there. Yellow SAO I think is a sleeper pick that people are just not playing anymore, but it's still a really fantastic deck that I just think not enough people pilot it, but if it was highly represented, I think it would do really well. And then obviously Green Kenpachi is one of those decks that just has a lot of powerful cards. So there's a couple decks that, like I said, in Union Arena, we have so many decks that can do well. So definitely those are some of my sleeper picks. But as far as my prediction, I'm going to go with this. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think I'm completely wrong, which is fair. It's just a prediction. But ultimately, it's going to be a great event. We'll revisit this and see how close I was. And let me know what you guys think is going to top. And I'll see you guys when I get back from the regional. Peace.